Good morning, sir. Mohammed Hamza present.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning.
Present.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, today what we will do?
We will
Good morning, sir. Today
Sir, will we continue with maths now?
yeah, we will continue with maths. Have we started it or not? The new chapter.
Sir, we have not started.
We have not started.
Sir, we
yes,
have done 11 question of reasoning.
Sir, today we can do reasoning.
Nahi, beta, we will do maths today. We did not start maths yesterday.
No,
No,
sir,
sir.
we have done reasoning full.
We were doing reasoning only. I made you see some videos yesterday or not about pictorial representation.
No, sir.
No videos.
No, sir, no videos.
Okay, no problem then. I will show you videos today.
Sir, pictorial is repetition of data.
Yeah, we will start that chapter. Okay, so I will show you some videos. So all of you, I'm sharing a video, sharing my screen. All the students are here. I will share my screen and you can see a video on my screen. So this is a revision of what is pictorial representation of data, which you have already done in your previous classes. In this class, although we don't have to do pictorial representation, we have to do bar graphs. So I will show a video for bar graphs also. So now you.
So bar graph, no.
Bar graph is there in your syllabus. I will show a video of bar graphs also. Okay.
So, but we have already seen.
Ah, yes. But I will show you a better video. That one was only for your project, art integration project.
Okay,
But this
sir.
one is will be more specific of how to make bar graphs. Okay. This is pictorial representation of data. Is it there on your screen? Okay, watch the video. Recording is going on. Yes.
Today, let's learn about another way of data presentation called pictograph in this flower farm. A pictograph gives information with pictures or symbols. Look at the flower farm. Finny collected 5 flowers. Tanya collected 7 flowers. And Suzanne collected 4 flowers from the farm. When we write the number of different objects in a given group, we call it data. The data given in the flower farm example can be represented as follows. This data can also be represented by drawing pictures. It is called a pictograph. We should be able to collect information from a pictograph by reading it. Every pictograph has 1. A title which tells us what the pictograph is about. 2. Pictures which tell us the given number of objects. 3. Labels which tell us what kind of data is shown. 4. The key which tells us the number each picture is equal to. Now, let us see how we can read this pictograph of the flower farm example. The title, Flowers Collected, tells us the pictograph is about the number of flowers collected. The labels give us the information of who collected the flower. The key tells us that each flower picture is equal to one flower. Hence, from the pictograph, we can say Simi collected 5 flowers. Sanya collected 7 flowers. And Suzanne collected 4 flowers. Joy visited a farm which was full of red, yellow, and green capsicums. Now, let us read this pictograph. Here, the title, Capsicums in the Farm, tells us the pictograph is about the number of capsicums in the farm. The labels give us the information on the colors of the capsicums. The key or scale tells us that each capsicum picture is equal to 2 capsicums. So, let us count the number of capsicums in the farm. There are 7 red capsicums. That means 7 multiplied by 2 is equal to 14 red capsicums. Accordingly, we can find out the yellow and green capsicums. There are 12 yellow and 10 green capsicums on the farm. Hence, from the pictograph, we can say there are 14 red capsicums, 12 yellow capsicums, and 10 green capsicums on the farm. From the information so obtained from the pictograph, we can say how many capsicums are there in all, whether red capsicums are more or yellow, and so on. Hence, we can obtain a lot of information from a pictograph. Hope it was fun to learn about
Sir? Excuse me, sir.
Yes, yes, beta.
Sir, today we will do notes, important notes of this chapter, sir, because doing this chapter we need a bar notebook.
Sorry? Sorry, what?
Sir, for doing this we need a graph notebook.
Yes, we need a graph notebook for this. So I hope you all have a graph notebook with you.
Sir, we can do.
No, sir.
Sir, so we can do important points now
We
today
don't
and
have
we
bar
will
graph.
brought it today.
Bar
Sir,
Sir,
sir, I will ask
Sir,
my
can
father
we-
to bring.
Okay, tomorrow you all be with a graph notebook. I hope you all will have a graph notebook.
Okay.
Today I will show you the videos related to all these things. Pictograph we have already seen. Have you all understood pictograph?
Yes, sir.
Pictograph we have also done in your previous classes. I don't think there will be any problem in pictograph, although there is no
Yes,
question of pictograph in your syllabus this year. The main thing that we have to do is bar graphs. So I will show you a video of bar graphs. It is a very good video. Good explanation is there. So I'm going to share it now. Ready, everyone, for the video?
Right? Shooting the most.
Okay. So this is the video.
Hi kids! Today we will learn what are data charts, their types, features, and how we use them. So let's start. Data chart is a type of diagram or graph where data is represented by various symbols such as bars in bar graph, lines in line graph, or slices in pie chart. Today we will learn what are bar graphs. A bar chart is a chart with rectangular bars, where the length of bars represents the value of something. And there is a scale along the length of bars which is used to measure the length of bars. The bars can be plotted horizontally or vertically. Bar graphs are used to compare the values of given items at any given point of time. Let's learn more about bar graphs using some examples. Here we have some data. A farmer sold different quantities of fruits in a particular month, and he recorded the sales like this. Now we will store this data in the form of a bar graph. First of all, determine what will be the title of our bar graph. Like it can be quantities of fruit sold. A bar graph has two axes, x-axis and y-axis. We have two types of data. One is the numeric data showing quantities of fruit in kgs, and the other is textual data, the name of fruits. The axis which shows numeric data is called scale. As on the y-axis, we are showing the numeric data, and our numeric data is in the range of 1 to 40. So make a scale showing numbers 1 to 40. Now, on x-axis, we will show the names of fruits, and we'll also relate them to their quantity. Like it's given that 35 kgs of apples were sold. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 35 and label it with apples. Now next fruit is orange. Quantity of oranges sold is 30 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 30 and label it with oranges. Now, next fruit is banana. Quantity of banana sold is 10 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 10 and label it with banana. Now, the next fruit is kiwi. The quantity sold is 25 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 25 and label it with kiwi. Now next fruit is blueberry. Its quantity sold is 40 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 40 and label it with blueberry. Now next fruit is grapes, and the quantity sold is 5 kg. So make a rectangular bar up to the mark of 5 and label it with grapes. And our bar graph is ready. This is the graph we just made. Now let's read it. Here the bars are drawn vertically on horizontal axes. This axis is known as horizontal axis or x-axis. The length rectangular bars represent the quantities of corresponding fruit sold in kgs. Length of the bars is measured with the vertical scale along the vertical axis or y-axis. As the numerical data is given on the vertical axis. This axis is the vertical axis which shows 35 kg of apples sold. Quantity of oranges sold is 30 kg. Quantity of bananas sold is 10 kg. Blueberries are sold the most. Bananas are sold the least. So kids, data in the form of charts is much easier to read and represent. It is easier to compare data values. Now let's see another example. We are given with another data from a class of students. The favorite game of each student was asked and noted down like this. 5 students like hockey the most. That is the favorite game of 5 students is hockey. Favorite game of 1 student is tennis. Favorite game of 9 students, football, and so on. Now let's see how it can be represented in the form of a bar graph. We have 2 types of information. One is the numeric values given, the number of students. One is textual values, given the names of their favorite games. First of all, we can give a title to our chart. It can be choice of games in a class. We can give titles to each axis of graph. Let x-axis be number of students. Let y-axis be name of the favorite game. X-axis represents the number of students, so it will be the scale. Number of students is in the range of 1 to 9. So let the scale be numbered 1 to 10. Now, on y-axis, we'll show the names of games, and we will also relate them to the number of students whose favorite game it is. Like, it's given that 5 students like swimming the most. So, make a rectangular bar on y-axis up to the mark of 5 and label it with swimming. Now, it's given that 2 students like archery the most. So make a rectangular bar on y-axis up to the mark of 2 and label it with archery. Now, it's given that 3 students like shooting the most. So make a rectangular bar on y-axis up to the mark of 3 and label it with shooting. Now it's given that 8 students like cricket the most. So make a rectangular bar on y-axis up to the mark of 8 and label it with cricket. Similarly, we can draw bars for all, and our graph will be ready. This is a graph where the rectangular bars are drawn horizontally on the y-axis, and the scale is drawn on the x-axis. Let's read the graph. The graph shows that the favorite game of students is football, as the bar corresponding to football is the longest, and the length of bar is 9. That is, 9 students like football. Least favorite game of students in the class is tennis, and only 1 student likes tennis the most. Second most favorite game in the class is cricket, as 8 students like cricket the most. So kids, data represented in the form of a bar graph is easy to read. So kids, today we learned what are data charts and learn how to make a bar graph out of the given data. Also, how to read a bar graph. Now go ahead and take a quiz to learn more.
So, how was the new teacher? How was the video?
Sir,
How was your new
Sir,
teacher?
it was very interesting while seeing it.
नहीं मैम ने अच्छा पढ़ाया आपको? How was your new teacher?
Sir, good.
Good, no?
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर मेरे पास बार कॉपी है.
Okay. Beta, you should try to speak in English. Okay. Yeah, we will start doing the work in the bar graphs from tomorrow onwards. So graph copies are required for it. Those who don't have it, please purchase it today and sit with your graph notebooks in tomorrow's class.
Sir, we have to purchase graph.
Yes, you have to purchase a graph.
Please tell what is graph notebook.
Beta, what is a graph?
And you doesn't know what.
Just Bharat, keep your mic off. Bharat, keep
Yes,
your
sir,
mic off.
keeping.
So beta, graph notebook is that in which let me show you pictures of graph notebooks. Okay, let me find it. Internet makes it so easy to solve the problems, है ना?
The
Using
graph notebook has many lines and boxes.
is anyone having it right now?
Sir, I have.
Can you show it on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am showing it. I will share my this screen and I will show you. Okay, beta, I am sharing my screen. You can see on my screen. So these are some images of graph notebook. It looks like this from outside. Okay, and then from inside you, it could be seen like this. Are you able to see on my screen?
Sir, I see these notebooks.
So this is what is known as
But
graph. So this is our graph notebook. Okay. So these are some images
Sir,
of.
my Bua has this.
Bua, your Bua is a student or a teacher?
No, ma'am. No, sir. She's a hostel student.
Sorry, she's a.
Hostel student.
Okay. So she is doing her college right now.
Yes, sir.
Which course is she doing? Do you know it?
Sir, this is not no.
Sorry.
But
This?
I did not that she want to make a IAS officer.
IAS officer. So very good. All the best.
And this year they can make.
Very good. Very nice. All the best to her.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so understood, beta. I have shown you many images. So these are some examples of graph notebooks. Okay, you can purchase it from anywhere from a stationery shop near your home. Okay, it is easily available. So buy a very thin one. We don't need many graphs. We need only 4, 5, 6 graphs only. So buy a very thin graph notebook. Okay, no need to buy a very thick one. It will cost only 5 or 10 rupees. Okay. So we will start all this from tomorrow. Have you all understood everything from the video or Acha, I wanted to explain some things in this. Let me show. So first of all, what do you understand by data? Anyone knows what is data? What is the meaning of data? Yes, anyone? Do you know what is the meaning of data? Are you able to listen me? नहीं पता? No answer?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
There is,
I can tell.
yes, please. Goranshi,
Sir, data.
Mishka. Goranshi, you are in class 5B.
Sir, I'm using it with my sister's phone and I'm unable to rename. When I rename, I automatically left the meeting.
Okay, so Goranshi is your
Sir,
sister.
Ansharya. I'm Ansharya.
So you are Ansh. कोई बात नहीं. So Ansh, your sister is your sister's name is Goranshi.
Yes, sir.
She is in which class?
Sir, nursery.
Nursery. Very small. So yeah, don't worry.
Sir, data.
Data. Yes, tell me what is data.
Sir, data is anything that represents the collected things.
Collection of information. Okay. So collection of information is known as data.
Yes, sir.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको कुछ एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. अभी यहाँ पर भी इन्होंने एग्जाम्पल दिया था. In the video that I showed you, there were some examples given of data. Let me also give you an example. Suppose if I write down the weights of all the students of your class. For example, हो सकता है maybe किसी बच्चे का weight 30 kgs है. Some student, another student, roll number 2 has weight 32 kg. Roll number 3 has weight 28 kgs. Roll number 4 थोड़ा मोटा सा बच्चा है 65 kg. मान लेते हैं ऐसा for example. So this, if I note down all these weights somewhere on a paper or anything, if I note down with me, so I have collected information from you all. मैंने आप लोगों से पूछ करके या हो सकता है measure करके I have collected this information. Now this information, if after collecting the thing which I have with me now, this collected information will be known as data. Okay, so this all everything, the whole thing that I have collected with me, this is known as data. Okay, समझ में आ गया data क्या होता है? It could be there could be many examples of data. For example, the data could be of, if I note down the heights of all the students of the class, heights भी पूछ सकता हूँ. Or if I write down how many pen each student is having. रोल नंबर 1 के पास कितने पेन है, रोल नंबर 2 के पास कितने पेन है. If I write down with me that how many pen each student is having, or each class is having how many students, हर क्लास में कितने कितने students हैं. Yours, in your section, how many students are there? Do you know it? So number of students, if I write down in each class, that is also a kind of data. So everything, these numerical values in collection of information is known as data. Okay. Now I will show the still from the video that I just played. I want to explain something from that video to everyone. Sharing the screen again. Yeah. So this, you all can see this. So this is the graph bar. This is known as bar graph, the thing that they have made here. Can you tell me what is this horizontal axis known as? आपने सुना भी होगा वीडियो में. They told it many times. What is this? What do we call this horizontal axis? This is also known as
horizontal axis. Horizontal axis.
इसको और किस नाम से जानते हैं? This is also known
Y
as
axis.
x axis. Horizontal वाले को x axis बुलाते हैं, and the vertical axis is also known as y axis. Okay. Now there were two types of bar graphs shown in the video. One is this one, and the other was the horizontal bar graph. Horizontal वाला आपने देखा था. For example, this one. This one here is a horizontal bar graph. Okay, so this horizontal bar graphs we are not going to make in our copies. We will only draw vertical bar graphs in the copies. Okay, so it is easy to, first of all, it is easy to draw vertical bar graphs. And the second thing, when we are drawing these horizontal bar graphs, it also creates a little bit of confusion. So no problem, both the bar graphs are valid. We can draw bar graphs in both the manners, vertical as well as horizontal, but I would prefer if you draw the vertical one only, this one. ये वाला क्या कहेंगे इसको? This is a vertical bar graph where the bars are on which axis?
Sir, vertical bar graph is easy.
Yes, it is a little easier. So इसमें bars आप देख रहे हैं, these bars are on which axis? कौन से axis पर हैं bars? आप देख रहे हैं, these are on which axis? These are on x axis. Horizontal axis के ऊपर ही तो खड़े करे हुए हैं बार. कहाँ पे रखे हुए हैं बार? These are on horizontal axis, which is also known as x axis. Okay, clear or not?
Yes, sir, clear.
And on the y axis we always write the numbers. These numbers are written on y axis. These are this is actually a scale. So you can also known as a scale. You can vary the scale according to the data information given in the question. So this is known as a table. So how many apples were sold? 35 kg of apples were sold. So this much quantity of apples were sold. Okay, so that is why the bar you can see for apples, the bar has gone up to which height? It has gone up to 35 kgs. Apple ka bar hai, dekhiye, this is what is written at the bottom, apples. So it is of 35 kgs. How many apples were sold? 35 kg. From the bar graph you can easily understand the information and compare करके हम बता सकते हैं. For example, just look at the bar graph and answer my question. I will ask you something related to this. Can you tell me which fruit was sold in the maximum quantity? Which fruit was sold in the maximum quantity? Which fruit was sold the most? कौन सा फ्रूट सबसे ज्यादा सेल किया गया है? इसको बार ग्राफ को देख के बताओ. बहुत इजी है बताना. Name the fruit which is sold the most.
Sir, blueberry.
Blueberry. Very good, correct answer. Blueberry is the right answer. इसका बार आप देखिए सबसे ज्यादा ऊपर जा रहा है. Am I right? This pink color bar, it is the highest. So this means that blueberry is the fruit which was sold the most. Okay, next question. Can you tell me which fruit was sold the least? कौन सा fruit सबसे कम sell हुआ है?
Grapes. Grapes.
Grapes नहीं बेटा, grapes. Okay, so the fruit that is sold the least is known as, is grapes in this case. Okay, so can you draw this? If I give you to draw a bar graph on your own, can you draw it on your own now? Have you all understood how to make a bar graph?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, any doubts from this? Anyone? किसी को कोई
No.
डाउट पूछना हो बताइए.
No, sir.
No doubt. Understood everything?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so open your books, all of you. Open this chapter. representation of data, the last chapter of the syllabus, chapter number 22. Page number 174, pictorial representation of data.
Sir, the class is about to over.
Book kholo beta, ek minute. Just open it for. I just want
Sir,
to
I
see.
have opened.
So pictographs you have already done. You can see in your book you have already done the pictographs. It is given an example of pictograph is given. Then on the next page, page number 176, there is an example of bar graph also there. An example of bar graph is also there. But here in the book, they have drawn a horizontal bar graph. Is it a horizontal bar graph or a vertical bar graph? Kaisa bar graph hai ye? It is
Sir,
a,
horizontal.
it is a vertical, sorry, horizontal bar graph. I'm sorry. It is a horizontal bar graph, but we will not draw a horizontal bar graph. We will draw only vertical bar graph. So we will start it from tomorrow. Okay. Not much time is left today. So
Okay, sir.
sit with your graph copies, everyone. Tomorrow we will start the bar graph. Everyone. Okay.
Okay, sir.